Welcome back and thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Live. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to address Team South Africa, a pre-World Economic Forum breakfast at a meeting in Rosebank, Johannesburg this morning. And this ahead of Team SA departing to Switzerland to participate in the WEF Davos annual meeting, which is scheduled to start on the 22nd of January. And Minister Rob Davies, he was just at the podium addressing the people gathered there, and now President Cyril Ramaphosa is to address Team SA. So let's go there live right now.
And it led to the change of the Eskom board. And as you came up instead of the Minister of Finance, I thought that was a precursor for a change of the Minister of Finance. Once again, it's a pleasure to have all of us here, people who seem to have a passion for cold weather, who are determined at all costs to go to extremely cold weather and be surrounded by snow. Once again, it is that time where we all gather in Davos. And as I look around, it is also wonderful to see that we are going to have a formidable team of people who will go to Davos to represent our country. And so it is good that we should gather in this way. It is that time when we do a bit of teamwork and gather together and straighten out our message in terms of what it should be when we get to Davos. We've already heard what the theme is going to be, and we will be engaging with a whole number of people there, as we often do. And last year we did a truly fantastic job. This year we're going to Davos amidst difficult economic challenges that we are going through, but challenges that I think we will be able to handle as we work together. One of the things that we demonstrated very well last year was just being able, after a long period of not really connecting with each other, meaning government, business, and labor, we demonstrated that when we have the will to work together, we can, and this is the place where we indeed did so. Looking back at what Eskom was like, we decided after the interventions that were made here that we should proceed our journey to Davos through a change of the guard at the Eskom level, and that sent a very positive message. We confronted by an Eskom challenge once again. But this time round, we have taken steps to address the challenge that we're facing in Eskom in terms of the process that we are involved in. We put together a task team that met with me and Minister Pravin Gordhan yesterday, and they will continue with a number of other meetings. And that task team is working feverishly to ensure that we come up with proposals. And they've been working together with the board, with management, and a number of interesting ideas are being put on the table to see how best we can help to stabilize Eskom and to determine a better path for Eskom going forward. So we are here again, and Eskom is still a big challenge, but this time I think we can say there is some glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel in terms of what we need to do with Eskom. They're facing huge challenges, funding challenges. Now they want also to get a new tariff, and there's a huge debate that's going on, but we will be addressing all those issues. So we can, in a way, say Eskom is being handled. We can put it on the side. We don't need to be carrying that burden all the way to Davos with us. One of the positive things that we also started last year, precisely at this type of forum, was to renew engagement between government and business. And that did behove us well, because through the course of the year, we were able, even past my election as president, we're able to engage with one another on a number of fronts. And we have continued with that type of engagement. And so this pre-Davos type of get-together does yield wonderful benefits. And I would be very interested, once I sit down and shut up, to hear what some of the thoughts are, some of the views are, so that we can see how best some of your new thoughts post your Christmas period are. The good thing is that collaboration between government and business is going extremely well. It is possibly at a very rich level, and much as we have challenges, we are dealing with the various challenges. And some of those challenges are just basically how we can generate more stronger economic growth in our economy. During the course of the year, as the business community, and indeed also as labor, you were able to raise quite a number of issues that we needed to address. And those issues are being addressed. We are proceeding with addressing a lot of issues. We're stabilizing a number of government institutions. The National Prosecutions Authority now has a new head who will be starting shortly, and we expect that we will start seeing quite a number of positive results out of the NPA. SARS, the applications are in, and we will now be evaluating those applications, and a new SARS commissioner will be chosen, and we're stabilizing quite a number of other institutions. The Zondo Commission continues with its work and is helping us to get to the depth of what state capture was all about, and to make sure that we will not ever have a state capture process in our country again. So a number of all those issues have been a result of being able to work together. We held a very successful investment conference, which we will want to repeat towards the end of the year. And so the richness of the collaboration between business and government is what we can showcase when we get to Davos, because we will be able to tell the world, the investing world, that the collaboration between government, business, and labor and communities is going on extremely well, and we're able to openly and honestly touch on a number of important issues, some of which have a policy nature, and others in terms of just strengthening how government should help to guide the economy going forward. And dealing with corruption is one of the key resolves that we have, and we intend to carry on with that work. The governing party has just published its election manifesto. It is a document that is going to add to a number of debating issues that may well be raised even at Davos and a number of other places. Government ministers will be on hand to answer whatever questions that may arise out of that. My take is that we're going to Davos on a firm footing, and all I would like to say is that our engagements in Davos, whoever we engage with, should be engagements that are based on putting a very positive message to the world, to the investing world, because indeed we do have a fairly positive message. We've been building and stabilizing the platform. The platform is not a burning platform any longer. The platform is getting stronger, and I guess what we now need to do is to start the process of putting up the buildings so that we can generate further growth in our economy, and we should not be discouraged by the lackluster economic growth that has been presaged by the World Bank and others. We should be fairly positive, because the determination to make sure that our economy grows is there, and I was delighted at the investment conference to see so many of our corporations being very positively minded about our economy and the commitments they made, and also the message that we got that that conference should be repeated later this year, because we need to build on that momentum to put South Africa on the map, not only for international investors, but also for ourselves, that we should focus on our economy. And on government side, we will continue to heed some of the calls that you make as business, some of the suggestions that you put forward. We will heed those, and we will seek to do what is best for the Republic of South Africa and for stabilizing our economy and growing the economy of our country. And so I believe that we are on a good roll. The outcomes as an end of the Job Summit are another really outstanding sign of collaboration between the key role players in our economy. The magnitude of the commitments and the interventions that were made is what we now need to work on, to implement. And this is the positive message that we can carry out, take to the world, and say, as South Africans, one of the strong things that we are doing is being able to work together despite the challenges that we are facing. Post Davos, I'll be proceeding to lead a number of government officials and ministers to India. We're going for a state visit to India, and that too, I'm sure, will go well. So with those few words, I think we are all poised to proceed to Davos in a fairly strong manner. And if there are issues that we need to touch on and discuss now, I'll be welcome to hear some of the thoughts, the suggestions, as we did last year. And so this should then be a forum where we are able to exchange some thoughts, some views. But once again, once we get to Davos, we close ranks and we speak with one voice, one country, one message, and one people. And that's precisely, I guess, what we expect of one another. Last year, that went very well, including the dinner that we had, and I'm looking once more forward to that wonderful dinner that we had. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.